And good evening, everyone. It is time for Bronco baseball on a beautiful Thursday night, the 4th of July, here at McDonald Stadium. Tonight, the El Dorado Broncos take on an old friend from the Jayhawk League, the Great Bend Batcats. Kurt Caden with you. Good to have you tuned in tonight for some Sunflower Collegiate League baseball. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. And we will start off as I try to get my levels all correct here. We'll start off with the visitors from Great Bend. Their batting order looks like this. Luke Repka will lead off. Nolan Riley batting second. Dawson Pomeroy third. Dante Freeman fourth. Hunter Romero will bat fifth. Chandler Bloomer sixth. Brady Michael will bat seventh. Brandon Tauber eighth. And Colin Meinert will bat ninth for Great Bend. Out in the field for the Broncos tonight, in left field is Carson Cox. In center field, Jordan Griffin. And Tanner White is in right field. Cooper Elliott at third base. Tanner Sparks at short. Brant Kim and Connor Kinn on the right side. Kim to Kinn we look for tonight for the Broncos. Cross Bay is behind the plate. And pitching for El Dorado, one of the best in our league. His name is Drew Gooch. So we get ready for action here tonight with the Broncos and the Batcats. The only time Great Bend will play here, they're in the Western Division. And so when the East and West hook up, you play 3 times. And just like when the Sluggers were here for 2, El Dorado will go to Wichita for 1 game. El Dorado earlier the year played 2 games on back-to-back nights in Great Bend. And now this is the 1 trip here to El Dorado for the Batcats. So it ultimately evens out. Gary Carr is sporting a new haircut. I wish you knew what the old Gary Carr looked like, but he looks about 10 years younger now, I'd say. Yeah, praise the Lord. Beautiful sunshine beating down here at McDonald Stadium. And we're ready for baseball. And as usual, here on the 4th of July, we'll talk about it throughout the evening. It is just an event here tonight. And then on Saturday, it's also going to be an event. And so just a fun night to be at the ballpark. The first pitch from Drew Gooch is on the way, and a check swing. But he did not hold up there, did he? Yeah, I didn't think so. Strike 1 to Luke Repka. Our first pitch temperature, well, not bad. It feels like it's 88 degrees, but it feels like 97. Overnight rains have really kind of stuck that humidity high tonight. Here's the second pitch. There's another check swing. That was an easy one for the home plate umpire to call, and it's 0-2. Our humidity right now at 65%, but the dew point's at 74. And I've been learning, in my next life, I plan on being a meteorologist. And dew points, I've learned that once you get above 60, that's when it really starts feeling uncomfortable. And here tonight, it's 74. So it's not terrible, but you can definitely feel the moisture in the air. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 11 miles an hour, and that means they're blowing out to center and left field as you're looking on your screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke Repka. Lefty on lefty here, the pitch from Gooch, and this time a good check swing by Repka, and it's 2-2. Could have a good pitcher's battle tonight. At least on paper, that's what it looks like it should be. Watch it be a 14-12 game or something. Another curveball missing, and it's a full count. Three balls and 2 strikes to Luke Repka. Drew Gooch, as he does, takes that deep breath. Now he'll wind and deal. The 3-2 on the inner third, called strike 3. So he went with the fastball in and got him. Now, Drew Gooch at the All-Star game, which we'll talk about as well. Such a terrific event, and all sorts of things went on for that night of baseball. But Drew Gooch pitched 1 inning, and I believe he struck everybody out. Matt, is that right? Yeah. First pitch, a little bit high to Nolan Riley. One ball and no strike here to Nolan Riley. And the pitch from Gooch, that one is in there for a strike. Yeah, we've had this umpire before. It takes a moment to to tell us if it's a ball or a strike. So Gary and I we like to be quick on, at least on that part of the, I don't know if we're quick on much, but we're quick on that usually, but we have to be patient tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, low, 2-1. And it's always fun with this umpire. You have to wait, and the ball is going to be caught, and then he's going to sit there for a second. It's his routine. That's what he does all the time. And when it's a ball, he just kind of stays in that same position for about 4 seconds. The 2-1 pitch fouled off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 2 games tonight in our league. Our game here, and then the Aviators, or I think it's the Aviators and the Twins. Only 2 games, at least on the schedule here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Riley. The pitch, curveball, must have gone too low, 3-2. Nolan Riley is not far from here. It does not grew up not far from here. Augusta, Kansas for Nolan Riley. 6'1", 195. So another 3-2 count here for Gooch. Will he go fastball? No, curveball and a high chopper in front of the plate. Bay's got it. And now Bay will toss it over to Connor Kinn to finish off the strikeout. Nolan Riley thought that was a foul ball, but clearly Cross Bay gloved it in fair territory. Thought he could run down Riley, and then figured out it probably better just toss it over to Connor Kinn at first base. So with 2 away, that'll bring up Dawson Pomeroy. Pomeroy from Topeka, Kansas. I don't have the colleges for the Batcats. Pomeroy is from Topeka, though. 6'5", 210. Good-looking kid up there at the plate. DHing tonight for the Batcats. And a good cut and a miss, strike 1. Pomeroy in his 18th game this summer, he's hitting .281. 16 hits, 4 doubles, 1 homer. Yes, I thought that name sounded familiar. Pomeroy looks at that ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. For a moment, I thought he had one of those protective armbands on his right arm, which wouldn't make sense, but I think that's just an arm sleeve that athletes wear, no matter what the sport. Curveball in there for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. My youngest son started wearing one. He's a runner. And I said, why? He said, well, I ran good with it once, so I'm just going to keep it. It's not like he pitches or anything. He's running. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pomeroy. The pitch from Gooch. Fastball is in there for strike 3. They're going to say he didn't check. Pomeroy barks down to the first base umpire who rang him up. 3 strikeouts for Drew Gooch to start off this 4th of July game. We go to the bottom of the 1st inning. Batcats 0, Broncos coming up. You're listening and watching to Bronco Baseball here on YouTube. Let's take a look at the batting order tonight for the Broncos and the defense for the Batcats. El Dorado will have Cooper Elliott leading off, Brant Kim batting 2nd, Connor Kinn 3rd. The hottest hitter for the Broncos is Tanner White batting 4th, Cross Bay 5th, and Tanner Sparks 6th. Jordan Griffin bats 7th, Cole Marler 8th, and Carson Cox will bat 9th. For Great Bend out in the field, in left field is Dante Freeman, the center fielder Brendan Tauber, and in right field, Brady Mitchell. On the infield, Luke Repka's at third. The shortstop is Colin Minert. Nolan Riley's at second base, and Hunter Romero at first base. The catcher is Chandler Bloomer. And pitching for Great Bend, Carson Bell. Elliott looked at one up and in there, huh? The 1-0 to Elliott is on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cooper Elliott, who was responsible really for the only run for the East in the All-Star game the other night. He had a leadoff triple and eventually scored on a ground out. 2-1 here to Elliott. The right-hander, Carson Bell, with the pitch. Elliott hits it up the middle. A diving stop made by Riley, but unable to get a throw off. So a single to lead off this game for Cooper Elliott. Great effort by the second baseman, Riley. He gloved it, but just couldn't gather himself, and Elliott runs well. So now here's Brant Kim. Met Brant's parents just a few moments ago, the Griffins. Cooper Elliott on the move, and Brant Kim shoots it through the right side. Beautiful hit and run for El Dorado, and they'll be on the corners. Gary, you couldn't have designed that. Hit it right behind the runner in the vacated hole there on the right side. That is textbook. That's baseball 101 right there. So runners at the corners for the All-Star Connor Kinn. Bottom of the first inning, no score. The first two have reached for El Dorado. And the pitch to Kinn is off the end of the bat, foul. This is the 4th game for Carson Bell, his 3rd start. He's 1-1 with an ERA of 9.00. His last time out was a win June 28th at Andale, a 10-5 win. He went 6 innings, gave up just 2 runs, and he only gave up 1 hit on that night. He's already given up 2. He had 6 walks and 7 strikeouts. Kinn out in front, pops it into foul territory where it's caught by Repka. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Tanner White. Gary Carr usually gives me a ton of notes. He said, you know what, I only got really 1 note here for you. It's all Tanner White. He is 8 for his last 8 official at-bats. 1 homer, 3 doubles, 4 singles, 5 RBIs. And actually his last 9 plate appearances, he's 9 for 9 reaching base because he was hit by a pitch. The El Dorado record, Lenny Rao in 2000 went 10 for 10 in a stretch. And that's a guy that Gary Carr, our own Gary Carr, taught how to hit. Or at least helped him how to hit. So this is an interesting at-bat early in the game from Tanner White. Hit or not, that's a great stretch, Gary. 8 for 8. Good heavens. Looked at ball 1 from Bell. Yeah, again, last time Bell pitched, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit, and 2 earned runs in a 10-5 win at Andale. And this one slapped to left field, a base hit for Tanner White. Will score the first run. Cooper Elliott scores. 9 for 9 on base. 10 for 10 on base. So he's tied the record. That 10 for 10 was on base for Lenny or hits? So an RBI single going the other way was White. And got to love the approach from El Dorado's hitters. Brant Kim went the other way. Tanner White goes the other way. And now here's Cross Bay in a 1-0 lead. Down at second base is Brant Kim. Tanner White at first. And the pitch to Bay is inside. Nice job sliding over by Bloomer to save that from going to the backstop. So a ball and no strikes. Cross Bay from Enid, Oklahoma, heading to the pitch from Bell, and Bay fouls it off. So we have Kim and Kinn out in the field when El Dorado's out there. Right now, we have the pitcher Bell pitching to the batter Bay. Bell and Bay. Is that Parker Johnson made his way up here? Are you running the music tonight? Parker Johnson. Now, I don't know if Parker will appreciate that I'm a mound builder and he's a Blue Jay, but that's all right. We're Bronco fans right now. One ball and one strike to Cross Bay. He'll step out. Broncos with 4 catchers on their roster. Double steal on the way. The throw goes to second, but Bell cut off the throw. It probably wasn't going to get wide anyway. That throw is headed toward the left field side of second base, and now Roger Ward's going to walk out and talk to his pitcher. So each runner gets a steal. And a mound visit early on. A slow visit out to the hill. The Great Bend Batcats, Blue Tops. They're a blue and green colored team. You see some of their jackets. Roger Ward's got the green jacket on. Great Bend. When did they enter the Jayhawk, Gary? This is not a terribly old organization as far as we know of. 2 years. And their first year in the Jayhawk League, they really made a splash. Got to the NBC World Series. And very quickly, Roger Ward established that Great Bend is going to be a player in summer baseball, NBC World Series baseball. So Cross Bay with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Cross hitting 167 on the summer. 3 for 18. He has 1 single, 1 double, and 1 homer. He's driven in 6 with 3 hits. And he has a chance to drive in a couple here, a little too far in, and it's 3-1 to Cross Bay. Tanner Sparks waits on deck as the crowd continues to file in here to McDonald Stadium. A 3-1 pitch with the wind blowing out as usual here at El Dorado. And up the middle it goes. Ranging over is Riley. He'll make the play. A run will score, so an RBI for Cross Bay. Second out. Tanner White moves over to third, and Brant Kim comes in to score. So how big was that double steal? Without that double steal, you might be looking at a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. Instead, a run scores and a chance for Tanner Sparks. 2-0 El Dorado. And leaning out of the way is Sparks for ball 1. And Sparks hits it towards center field and an RBI single with 2 outs. Well done by Sparks. At times, I don't know if Gary would agree with me on this. At times, I feel like Sparks might overswing. That looked like a very relaxed cut. Sent it out to center field. So Tanner White scores, and 3 are in for El Dorado with 2 away, and Jordan Griffin stands in. Talked to Jordan's parents are in the crowd. His mom's been here for a few days. His dad flew in today from Georgia. And Griffin hits it off through the hole on the left side. Sparks thought about hustling to third, but coming in quickly was Freeman. So a base hit for Jordan Griffin. A seeing eye single right there for Griffin. And that'll bring up Cole Marlar. His dad's in the crowd. Got to meet him. Cole Marlar. Heading to Lamar University's from College Station. First pitch bouncing in, ball 1. Nice job again by Bloomer to smother that pitch. Marlar hitting 182. 6 for 33. 1 ball and no strikes. Good lead off a second for Sparks, and the pitch is bounced towards short, and going the short way is Minert, flipping to Riley for the out. But a Nice inning for El Dorado to start this game off. They score 3 runs, and they did it on 5 hits. 1 man left on base after 1 complete from El Dorado. It's the Broncos 3 and the Batcats 0. Top of the 2nd inning here from McDonald Stadium in El Dorado. A 3-0 start for the Broncos. Drew Gooch struck out the side in the first. Dante Freeman to lead it off for Great Bend. The first pitch from Gooch outside. The last time we saw Drew Gooch was here on June 21st. A win, a 14-9 win over the Derby Twins. 7 hits given up that night by Gooch. 3 earned runs. And a strong hit there by Freeman, but right at the shortstop Sparks. A line out to the shortstop by Freeman. He hit it well. Some bad luck there for Freeman, and that'll bring up Hunter Romero, the first baseman. The last 3 outings for Gooch have all been home starts, and he's got 8, 8, and 9 strikeouts and 2 walks in those 3 games. So what? 25, two walks, 25 strikeouts. Ran into some tough luck against the Rebels here on June 14th, a game that the Broncos seem to have in control 6-0 with Gooch pitching, but a rough 6th inning turned into a 10-7 loss that night. Drew Gooch with a 3-win, 0-loss record. And on the summer, 3 walks, 34 strikeouts in 23 2/3 innings of work. That's fantastic. That pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. So basically, Gary, if you're coming up to bat against Drew Gooch, be ready to swing because he's probably not going to walk you. Here's a ball out into right field, ranging over Tanner White, and he'll come in and make the catch for out number 2. Kind of off the end of the bat there by Romero. That'll bring up Bloomer. That's right. Gary and I have talked about it many times. Of course, you can't always hear Gary. I wish that we had 2 ports here, but we talked about Drew Gooch's first outing at UTA, Texas Arlington, right? Was just disastrous. He had a 99 first 3 outings. His ERA was as high as it could go, pretty much. Real against the, oh wow, 1 bad outing in Wichita State, but he had an ERA of 99, and that's not good. But ever since then, what did he end his college? He got his ERA in college down to 4 point something, which is just phenomenal. And he has continued on. Now his ERA is at 4.18. Really, just that bad 6th inning against Newton is really all that's keeping him from a really dynamite ERA. Off the fist, bouncing towards second base. Kim's got it. It's going to be a tough play, though, and he's going to be safe. I don't know if Gooch couldn't see it or maybe he thought it was hit a little harder. I don't know. He had kind of a weird reaction after that ball kind of bounced by him. So it's a single for Bloomer. That's tough luck for the pitcher, Gooch. An excellent pitch right on the hands. But Bloomer put it in the perfect spot. So here's Brady. Matt, did you say Michael? That's what I'm going with. Apologies if we're wrong. Diane Jacobs says hello to everyone and happy 4th. Happy 4th of July. The 1-0 outside, 2-0. The right fielder here, Brady Michael. Diane's here enjoying the game and watching. Or listening, maybe. I don't know. That's excellent. The 2-0 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike one. We're in the top of the second inning. There will be a fireworks show following the game presented by the city of El Dorado. Yours truly will be getting off the air quickly when we're done because nice to beat the traffic. I watched the fireworks from the ride home. 2 balls and 2 strikes after that swing and miss by Michael. Gary, do you stick around or do you get out of here to you? Gary's got stats to do. I got my hour drive to do. A 2-2 pitch from Gooch and hit out into right field. Tanner White coming in and will make the catch on the run to end the second inning. No runs on a hit. 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. It's El Dorado 3, Great Bend 0. Carson Cox will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the second inning. The only Bronco to not bat in the first against Carson Bell. And the first pitch of ball, 1-0. Hello to Lynn Oliver, watching from Victoria, Texas, watching Hudson and the Broncos. Husband Warren, as Cox fouls one out of play. Warren Oliver is at the game tonight, so I didn't get to see Warren. There's a big crowd. I probably should have worn my Bronco shirt tonight. I wore my my University of Portland dad shirt tonight. Wasn't thinking. A ball and a strike here to Cox. So, Lynn, I'm glad you're tuned in. Always wondering on Parents Week, it's so great to have all the parents here. The downside for me, the selfish bad side for me, is if the parents are here, who's watching? But we've got some folks watching tonight. And if you're a Great Bend Batcat, feel free to join in. We'd love to talk to you as well. The 2-1 to Cox. Good fastball, but low, 3-1. Us radio folk, we're just egomaniacs, Gary. We're egomaniacs. We want everyone to listen to us. You want everyone to look at your stats, exactly. It depends on the trade. And there's ball 4. Parker Johnson wants everyone to go to Tabor College Blue Jay games. I mean, that's the way it goes. Do you like Hillsboro? It's a nice town. And a good baseball. Tabor is a really good baseball team. Southwestern and Tabor always have, I think, as good a rivalry as any. Some would argue it's a Southwestern friends, but I feel like Southwestern Tabor in so many sports are so competitive. Cooper Elliott up at the dish. He singled and scored his first time. One ball and no strikes. Cox led off with a single. And a look back over at first, and he slides in. The Great Bend bullpen is going to start to heat up. Cox, did I say single? He's a single runner at first who walked. Let me see if I can. Let me manipulate my words here. High on that pitch, 2-0. Doesn't matter. On base percentage. 2 balls and no strikes here to Cooper Elliott, who has really been in a good groove. And Elliott lays off that high pitch, 3-0. The Broncos, the last time we talked, they were coming off a disappointing 14-3 loss to the Wichita Sluggers here on Sunday night. Big doubleheader Monday in Hayesville, and it seems to happen so often with doubleheaders, they split. So didn't gain anything, didn't lose anything. We'll go over the standings here shortly. There's a 4-pitch walk to Elliott, so back-to-back walks. Oh, really? Andale's wins this year. They have 2. One against El Dorado, one against Hayesville. The top 2 teams in the East. You know, take a look at the division here. I mean, I guess you could say when you look at the division, boy, Cheney and Hutch and Great Bend with really good records at the top, especially Cheney. First pitch is a ball to Brant Kim. Cheney has been ridiculous, and their offensive numbers are just through the roof. They're ranked in the nation right now as one of the top summer baseball teams. 16th, wow. Here's a 1-0 to Kim, and he has to duck out of that one, 2-0. And they are starting to warm up in earnest down in the bullpen for Great Bend. 2 balls and no strikes. Kim singled on a beautiful hit and run in the first inning, stole a base and scored. The 2-0 is high and inside, 3-0. Cheney is 20-3, leading the West. Hutchinson is here Saturday night. They're 13-7. The Broncos have split with Hutchinson so far. 1 game in Hutch, 1 game at Eck. 3-0, I'm sure taking all the way is Kim, and he is. And a room service fastball in for strike 1. 3-1 now to Kim. A look over at first. That's where Cooper Elliott is. Carson Cox at second. There's a high pitch and 3 straight walks to lead off the second inning. And a recipe for trouble for Great Bend here in the second. And probably going to be it. And yep, already indicating that we're going to have a pitching change. So Carson Bell, who was really good against Andale his last time out, got roughed up in the first, has led off this inning with 3 straight walks, and his night is over on this 4th of July. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in a moment. 3-0 El Dorado here in the bottom of the second. So batting for El Dorado is Connor Kinn with the bases loaded and nobody out. He came up with runners at first and third in the first inning, popped out to third. The new pitcher is Easton Young, and he has really good numbers. Kinn fouls this one off the stairs and back into play. 8th game for Young. He's got a 1-win, 0-loss record and a 1.80 ERA. 24 strikeouts in 15 innings of work. He's not a guy, as he goes 2-1, has given great length. 3 innings, he's gone 3 times this year. A couple of 2-inning efforts, 1.1 and 2/3 of an inning. His last time out, he got roughed up against who else? The Cheney Diamond Dogs. 2-1, hit towards first, and the play will come home, and they'll get Cox at the plate. So a 3-2 put out. Bases remain loaded for Tanner White. On July 1st, at Cheney, 2/3 of an inning for Young. He gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk. Other than that, he has really pitched well. He just had a rough one against Cheney, and that's certainly understandable. First pitch to White, in there for a strike, 0-1. Easton Young's 1 win came on June 20th at home against Hutchinson, where he went 3 innings and struck out 6, didn't give up a hit. Here's the 0-1. Curveball hit towards second base, weakly hit. They'll try to turn 2 in the infield, and they will not do so. So coming in to score is Cooper Elliott. Kim moves down to third. Kinn is erased 4-6. Number 46, Ross Bay. And Tanner White reaches base again. So now Cross Bay. Tell you what, if Young can get out of this with bases loaded, no out, if he gets out of this giving up 1 run, that is brilliant. First pitch to Bay, grounded towards short and over to second to get the out. Nice job by Easton Young to induce 3 ground balls and only allow the 1 run in. 1 run on no hits for the Broncos. We go to the 3rd inning. El Dorado 4, Great Bend 0. Brandon Tauber will lead off for Great Bend here in the top of the third inning. 4-0 El Dorado. Could have been a lot worse, but Easton Young came in relief and did an excellent job inducing 3 ground balls. Got an out at the plate on a ground ball, almost a double play in the middle infield. And then a grounder to short to get out of the inning. The 0-1 to Tauber missing, and it's 1-1. Tauber, Meinert, and Repka. 8, 9, and 1 for Great Bend here in the third. A swing and a miss, strike 2. Brendan Tauber. The 1-2. Fastball high and away, 2-2. Gooch likes to work quickly. He is ready for the batter as he steps in. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Curveball, a swing and a miss. I may have foul tipped it into the glove of Bay. It's a strikeout nonetheless. The 4th of the night for Gooch. And that'll bring up Colin Meinert. Meinert from my home state of Wisconsin. He's from Deerbrook, which I believe Deerbrook is down in the Milwaukee area. And that first pitch looked like a change and in there for a strike. Meinert hitting just a hair less than 400. He's a 397 hitter. 27 hits and 68 at bats, his 21st game. Curveball, and that's a beauty in there for strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes, a pitch in the turf, 2-2. Meinert, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In his last 6 games, he's had 2 hits 4 times. Well, it's good guys to have down at the bottom of the order to try to set the table for the top as you get through the game. Fastball, and that fouled off of Meinert in the box. Meinert started, his first game was June 19th, so he did not play in the first couple times that these teams played up at Great Bend. Here's a 2-2. High, 3-2. Three-two pitch, deep breath from Gooch, and now the wind and the pitch, and the curveball, and a nice job hanging in there by Meinert. He'll flip it into the parking lot. Might have caught an automobile out there. A lot of rain in central Kansas overnight and this morning, but some rain here. There was a little doubt early on in the day if we're going to play, but there's I thought that was 3-2. I guess not. My bad. Now it's 3-2. But a great night for baseball and a great night for the fireworks show tonight as well. A 3-2 pitch to Meinert, and he's able to hang in there. Just foul tip that one. Too close to take. Ninth pitch of the at-bat. One away for Great Bend here in the top of the third inning. The 3-2 curveball waiting on his Meinert. Chopper out to Sparks. He's going to have to be quick with the throw, and not in time. Too much hop. So 2 infield singles so far for the Batcats. One of our good old friends. Remember Jordan Anstandig last year? It was so fun to watch. Jason Anstandig is watching. Good to have Jason. He's wondering who the beer batter is. We haven't done the beer batter much. It may be too much pressure. Curveball to Repka in there, 4-1. So hello to Jason and Standig. Always love when former players and parents tune in to see what's going on here at McDonald Stadium. Tells me they had a great experience. Runner on the move, a swing and a miss. Bay's throw down to second is on the money. And Meinert is thrown out. Tanner Sparks applied the tag. Throw is a tad high, but a quick tag by Sparks. That was a strike, 0-2. And now the pitch from Gooch is off the fist and foul. Luke Repka hails from the Woodlands, Texas, 6 foot 195. Struck out looking his first time. Gooch has him set up now, 0-2. From Argyle, Texas, Drew Gooch, and it's shot towards third. Elliott's got it, a couple of steps over, and over to first to retire Repka and the Batcats in the third. No runs on a hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Broncos 4, Batcats 0. Tanner Sparks is going to lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the third inning. So you can close the book on the starter for Great Bend, Carson Bell. He went 1+. Gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. And a first pitch strike from Young to Sparks. Tanner Sparks singled his first time to center field. And curveball in there for strike 2. So Sparks will have to go into defensive mode here. No balls and 2 strikes. And he hits it towards third, off the glove of the third baseman Repka over to short, and Sparks able to beat it out. That's probably going to be a hit. He had to dive over to his left a bit, I'm guessing. Looking at Gary. Wasn't right at him. Probably a play that Repka would make most of the time. But it'll go as a single for Sparks. So here's Jordan Griffin. Griffin singled back in the